Stop what you are doing right now and listen to me very carefully. On the 7th of April, 2026, Mercury, the sharp, restless, and utterly merciless planet that governs every single word you speak, every contract you sign, every message you send, and every critical decision your conscious mind processes, officially enters its pre-retrograde shadow in the fierce, impulsive, and dangerously reactive fire sign of Aries. The very moment this happens, every unfinished, unresolved, and carelessly unprotected area of your life becomes a ticking, volatile, and devastatingly unforgiving time bomb. This is not casual astrology content for your passing entertainment. This is not a gentle cosmic weather report you can afford to scroll past. This is the single most critical warning you will receive this entire year, and if you ignore it, if you let this moment slip through your distracted fingers, you will spend the next several months paying for that choice in ways you cannot yet begin to imagine. Here is what makes this period so uniquely and devastatingly dangerous. Most people understand the basic concept of Mercury retrograde. They know that communication collapses, careful plans unravel, and buried secrets resurface with an uncomfortable, undeniable vengeance. But what the overwhelming majority of people fatally fail to understand is that the most volatile, most destructive, and most consequential phase of any retrograde cycle is not the retrograde itself. It is the shadow that silently, invisibly precedes it. The pre-retrograde shadow is the deceptively calm window when Mercury begins to dramatically slow its forward motion through the heavens. It has not yet officially turned backward. The retrograde has not technically begun. But the energy is already thickening, already warping, already distorting the clear and reliable flow of communication, logic, and rational thought in ways that feel maddeningly subtle and completely impossible to identify with your conscious mind. Imagine the eerie, suffocating silence that descends over the world in the final seconds before a massive earthquake strikes. The ground appears solid. The sky looks perfectly clear. But deep beneath the surface, tectonic forces are already violently shifting with unstoppable power. That is precisely what is happening in your life right now. And most people walking this earth will not realize it until the ground has already opened beneath their feet. And the most unsettling part of all? You are already feeling it. If you have been paying even the faintest attention to the quiet, desperate signals of your own body over the past several days, you already sense deep in your bones that something is fundamentally, undeniably wrong. You have felt it settling into your chest like a cold, heavy, unnamed pressure that no amount of sleep, distraction, or rational thinking can lift. Perhaps your rest has shattered into fragmented, shallow, restless hours haunted by vivid, disturbing dreams that leave you waking at 3 in the morning with a pounding heart and a stomach full of sourceless dread. Perhaps your words have begun betraying you. Simple conversations spiraling into confusing, emotionally loaded misunderstandings that seem to erupt violently from absolutely nowhere. Perhaps your mind has been caught in tight, exhausting, anxious loops, endlessly replaying old wounds, old failures, old conversations, and old grief that you were absolutely certain you had already processed, buried, and permanently moved past. This is not random anxiety attacking you without reason. This is not a string of meaningless bad luck. This is Mercury whispering its dark, unmistakable, deeply personal warning directly into the cellular memory of your nervous system. Your body has always known things long before your conscious mind catches up. Right now, every single cell in your body is screaming at you to stop, to slow down, and to prepare for what is rapidly approaching. You would be profoundly, dangerously foolish to ignore it. Now listen with absolute seriousness, because the most immediately dangerous area of your life during this shadow period is your financial reality. Mercury directly and fundamentally rules every contract you enter, every transaction you authorize, every negotiation you conduct, and every critical piece of financial information that passes through your hands and your mind. As this planet slows and its energy thickens and distorts, every major financial decision you make during this window carries an exponentially higher risk of hidden miscommunication, deeply buried complications, and devastating consequences that will not reveal their true, irreversible damage until it is far too late to undo. Do not sign any major contract during this period without reading every single clause 3 careful, deliberate times. Do not make any large, emotionally driven purchase you have not thoroughly and rationally researched for weeks beforehand. Do not launch any new venture, any new partnership, or any new investment strategy until this shadow has completely and fully lifted from the sky. This is not the universe cruelly punishing you for wanting to move forward with your life. This is the universe physically throwing itself in front of you, arms wide open, desperately trying to stop you from building something precious and irreplaceable on a foundation that is cracked, deceptive, and silently crumbling beneath the surface. The single wisest, most powerful, and most strategically brilliant financial move you can make right now is the one that demands the most discipline and the most trust. Pause, protect, and fiercely preserve what you already have. But the financial realm is not the only battlefield where this shadow is waging its quiet, invisible war. Your physical body is absorbing every single ounce of this approaching energetic shift, and it is communicating with you in ways you absolutely cannot afford to dismiss or ignore a single moment longer. Mercury's shadow pressing heavily into Aries, the sign that directly rules the head, the brain, the adrenal system, and the central nervous system, will manifest in your body as persistent, throbbing headaches, a jaw clenched so tight it aches through the night, burning tension locked across your shoulders, a digestive system that feels uncomfortably heavy and painfully sluggish, and a constant, low-grade, maddening anxiety vibrating relentlessly beneath the surface of every waking hour. These symptoms are not random medical mysteries for you to panic about. They are direct, urgent, and brutally honest messages from your physical vessel telling you that a massive energetic storm is bearing down on your life and that it desperately, urgently needs your conscious, compassionate cooperation to weather it safely. Flood your body with clean, intentional water. Replace heavy, inflammatory, processed food with meals that genuinely nourish, comfort, and ground your sensitive system. And above everything else, guard your sleep with fierce, absolute, completely non-negotiable discipline. Under this transit, rest is not a luxury or an indulgence. It is your single most critical line of physical and spiritual defense. Now here is exactly what you must do about all of this. Understanding what is coming means absolutely nothing if you sit frozen in fear and fail to physically act. The universe does not shield passive, waiting observers. It shields and generously rewards those who consciously, deliberately prepare. First, you must complete every single unfinished task, conversation, and obligation you have been avoiding. The retrograde shadow feeds ravenously and relentlessly on loose ends. Every unresolved conversation, every unsent message, every unpaid bill, every lingering, festering, incomplete piece of your life will be seized by this thick, heavy energy and violently magnified into an overwhelming, suffocating crisis. Finish the difficult conversation your stomach has been dreading for weeks. Send the important message you have been endlessly drafting and redrafting in your anxious head. Close every single open, bleeding loop in your life before the shadow closes it for you in ways you will deeply, painfully regret. Second, back up every critical digital file, every important document, and every piece of vital communication that matters to your life and your livelihood. Mercury shadow periods are notorious and historically consistent for technological failures, sudden data corruption, and catastrophic, heartbreaking digital loss that is entirely and completely preventable if you simply act today. Third, ruthlessly, lovingly, and without a single ounce of guilt, clear your calendar of every unnecessary commitment and every draining interaction with people who consistently take far more vital energy than they will ever return to you. Your time, your space, and your peace are not renewable resources during this volatile window. Protect them with everything you have. And for 3 specific zodiac signs, everything I have just described is only the beginning. While every living soul on this planet will undeniably feel the heavy, disorienting weight of this shadow pressing down upon their daily reality, 3 specific zodiac signs are standing directly, squarely, and inescapably in the path of its most concentrated, most intense, and most deeply transformative energy. Gemini, Mercury is your ruling planet. It is the celestial body that fundamentally governs your mind, your voice, your identity, and the very way you process and communicate your reality to the world. When your ruler enters its shadow phase, this is not simply an external cosmic event happening far away in the distant sky. This is a deeply personal, profoundly unsettling, internal reckoning with every careless word you have ever spoken and every important truth you have recklessly left painfully unsaid. During this entire period, Every text you send, every opinion you voice, every casual, seemingly harmless conversation you carelessly enter carries invisible consequences far heavier and more lasting than you currently realize. The sharp, brilliant, quick-moving tongue that has always served you so well in life suddenly becomes your single most dangerous weapon, and it is pointed directly at your own carefully built world. Think 3 times before you open your mouth. Pause with absolute, conscious intention before you press send on anything. In this shadow, your deliberate, disciplined silence is not weakness or retreat. It is the most powerful, most protective shield available to you. Virgo, Mercury is also your ruling planet, and this approaching shadow is quietly but aggressively activating the most hidden, most vulnerable, and most critically important corners of your professional life and your carefully, painstakingly constructed public reputation. Projects and systems you built with meticulous, exhausting care may suddenly reveal unexpected cracks and deeply hidden complications you never anticipated. Communications with colleagues or superiors may become dangerously tangled with costly misunderstandings that threaten your standing. Do not panic. Do not react impulsively. Do not make sweeping, emotionally charged decisions in the burning heat of a stressful, pressurized moment. Stay deeply rooted in your physical body. Stay fiercely meticulous in your process. Trust completely that your natural, God-given precision and your powerful instinctive ability to find perfect order in absolute chaos will carry you safely and gracefully through this storm. Sagittarius, this shadow is falling directly, heavily, and unavoidably across your most sensitive and most emotionally exposed axis of committed partnerships and deeply intimate relationships. Old, buried misunderstandings with the people closest to your beating heart, unresolved tensions you genuinely believe time had quietly dissolved, and raw emotions you forcefully swallowed to keep a fragile peace are going to surface with uncomfortable, confrontational, and completely unavoidable intensity. Every powerful instinct in your restless body will scream at you to run. To deflect with your natural humor. To book a flight somewhere far away and pretend that none of this difficult emotional reality is actually happening. Do not run. Sit in the discomfort with both feet firmly planted on the ground. Face these heavy conversations with raw, patient, open-hearted honesty and the deep, mature understanding that this temporary, necessary pain is the universe carefully and lovingly removing every single emotional blockage standing between you and the profoundly healthier, infinitely more fulfilling, and deeply more authentic connections waiting for you on the other side of this storm. This is your final warning from the intelligent, living cosmos that governs the sacred rhythm of your existence. The retrograde shadow approaching this April is not something to blindly fear or anxiously obsess over. It is something to deeply, strategically, and consciously respect with every single fiber of your being. The universe is not trying to destroy your progress or punish you for wanting more from this life. It is firmly and lovingly commanding you to pause, to protect everything you have already survived to build, and to fortify your emotional and physical foundation for the massive, breathtaking, undeniable expansion that waits patiently and faithfully for you on the other side of this necessary storm. Stop everything right now, wherever you are sitting or standing. Slow your breathing down completely. Draw a deep, slow, intentional breath into the very bottom of your lungs, expanding your stomach fully. Place both hands firmly over your physical beating heart and feel the steady, ancient, powerful rhythm that has faithfully kept you alive through every single devastating storm you have ever weathered in this lifetime. Now, slowly, deliberately, consciously drop your tense, raised shoulders away from your ears. Unclench your tight, aching jaw. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let the tension leave your body like water flowing out of a broken dam. You have survived far worse than what is coming, and you know that truth in the very marrow of your bones. Now, armed with conscious awareness, armed with deliberate intention, and armed with the rare and priceless cosmic foresight that most people walking this earth will never possess, you are not merely going to survive this shadow. You are going to walk directly and courageously through it and emerge on the other side entirely, permanently, and magnificently transformed into the most powerful, most protected, and most deeply aligned version of yourself that has ever existed. Prepare yourself now. The shadow is already here.